Hello, welcome to the 2025 Homeland Security Summit. I'm Pat Host. I'm a senior reporter and content developer with Executive Mosaic. And here today with us is Wes Wheeler. Wes is a strategic advisor. Thanks for joining us, Wes.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Of course. What are some key technologies that LA28 organizers are leveraging to ensure the event proceeds according to plan?
Sure. Well, it's a complex event. Technology helps. And organizers and folks that are planning on how to handle contingencies specifically. As you know, my background is public safety, crisis response. Some of the key technologies that are in play here are some that you'll be familiar with. So the counter-UAS threat has not gone away, continues to get more complex, continues to evolve. And the technology around detection and mitigation, of course. So that layered defense of not only RF, but acoustics, cameras, all of the technology for that sort of detection and mitigation, of course, is a huge part of how technology can help the planning and the response to an incident or a problem. And there's other technological pieces that over time I've spent a long time worrying about, sort of the WMD crisis response part, very technologically heavy on how to detect that full spectrum of chem, bio, rad, nuke problem, and then how to respond to that, how to utilize technology that helps you take a problem that is could appear to be localized, but then as it progresses, requires the full resources of the United States government to resolve it successfully. So any of the aspects of the way we utilize technology to help us do that is what organizers and those that are in the planning process will be worried about.
It seems like we don't hear much about chem, bio, and weapons of mass destruction much anymore. Can you kind of talk about how we are positioned to best defend against that in large-scale events like LA28?
Sure. Well, it's an enduring problem, right? So the emergence of other threats or other things that we hear about doesn't make that one go away. And what I know about that threat is that it is one of the most complex problems that we can foresee having to handle, having to mitigate. So the complexity arises in what I spoke about just a few minutes ago of everything from a local first responder through a process of understanding the problem and how to mitigate and respond to that problem that might involve very specialized capability that is impossible for that capability to resolve locally, everywhere, all the time. So the WMD crisis response key to success is very good process, very good incident response, crisis management teams that can take that from a suspicious package that does not resolve all the way through a deployment of national assets that resolve that issue in a very high consequence event. That's the main problem with WMD crisis response. Just the consequences are so severe, and the margin for error is very, very low.
Certainly. Yeah. What are some business opportunities involved with technology, exercise and testing, and crisis management for LA28?
Sure. So I think there's opportunity that has existed and will continue to exist in the counter-UAS sphere as the U.S. government divests away from foreign-made technology. Right. So back years ago, when I first started being involved in this, Chinese-made drones were the market. And that's not the case anymore as much. And the opportunities around UAS and counter-UAS technology, domestic technology, continues to grow. So there is room to grow there. And I think there's also in the emerging technology fields that everyone talks about, AI, quantum computing, those type of technologies, figuring out how to leverage that technology to help us do our jobs, right? So how do we communicate more securely, austere conditions, for example? How do we utilize technology from industry? The government needs help with technology from industry for sure. How to take advantage of that type of technology to help us communicate better, for example. So there are those business opportunities that I think trend with emerging threats, and how to utilize technology to make us better.
Now, C-UAS is one of those fields to me that has advanced so rapidly in the last few years. Could you give us an example of a C-UAS tech that has really jumped leaps and bounds ahead in capability?
Well, so it's I think the first thing to say about it is, from my point of view, it's a all of the above approach to defense, right? So a layered approach for a target or defense of a target, for instance, is what matters. So RF technology still matters, although there are UAS platforms out there that can defeat that technology. So cameras, acoustics, radar, all of the above, coordinated with ground detection teams, for example, ground response teams. All of the technology has to fit into a very reasonable, comprehensive plan of how to understand what you're dealing with, because not everything that may fly in the sky is a threat to you, and understanding what is and what isn't, and then how to handle that. So my thought is that it's all of the above approach to utilizing all of that available technology in a layered defense to help you.
What is the value of intelligence to LA-28 preparations and operations?
Sure. So I think you can't overstate the value of situational awareness. So good intelligence helps you gain that most important thing for decision makers to understand what where the decision point is. So to be able to utilize the United States intelligence community to have access to all of that information in a way that works. And then particularly, in a lot of times, even more importantly, is how to access foreign intelligence from partners overseas and have a good process for that. There's a very high likelihood of an issue, an incident, a threat that we would encounter. Somebody's seen that before, or somebody's seen something like that before. Or there's indicators from overseas, for example, that would help you understand what you're seeing. So you can't overstate how important it is. And a lot of that is relationships and what that team looks like, and a good process and a good methodology for getting good intelligence where it needs to be.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Wes. Thanks, Pat. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
If you want more insights like these, please join me at the 2026 Defense R&D Summit on January 29. Buy your tickets today at PotomacOfficersClub.com, and I'll see you there.